priest. And so, you guys, he understands sometimes, I think, sometimes we kind of take for granted the enemy knows us. He knows our weaknesses. He does. But let me tell you something he doesn't know. He doesn't know your strengths. He may know your weaknesses, but he doesn't know your strengths. That's God's.
Right.
God knows your strengths. And so, even when Job, and we've been talking a lot about Job on Tuesdays with the ladies, even when Job was attacked by the devil, the one thing, the reason why God basically bet on Job was because Satan may have known Job's weaknesses, but he didn't know Job's strengths. God did. And so God was willing to take a bet on him, basically, that Job was going to get through this attack. And we will talk a little bit about him later on. Tonight we're going to talk about the snare. We have an enemy to our soul, and he has many different tactics. The truth is, most of the time, the devil is not straight up in your face. He doesn't come in there and go, I am the devil, boogity boogie. You know, and he's like, I am here to make you miserable and torment you and do stupid stuff to you. That's not how he shows up. The Bible says he shows up as an angel of light. He'll come in deception. The other thing he'll do is he'll plant things in front of you so you fall into it. And we're going to talk about a snare. What a snare is a trap. It is actually a form of trap, and when you look it up in the dictionary, it's a form of trap that's made usually with wire or made with like string or rope and stuff, and it's usually used for birds and different types of animals. But the whole point of it is to snare them and catch them and entangle them and get you caught and you can't get out. You know, it's not necessarily always the kill, but a noose is considered a snare. And so you think of a noose going around your neck, it's going, you know, it's a snare. It's actually meant to entangle you and destroy you. Because it will come after you. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the snare. Psalms 38:12. I'm actually going to read a number of verses real pretty quick. Psalms 38:12 says, "They also that seek and demand my life lay snares for me." If anybody understood the snare, it was David. Because everyone was laying traps for that king. He had a lot of enemies. "And they seek and require my hurt, and they speak crafty and mischievous things. They meditate treachery and deceit all day long." Have you ever felt like you've had the whole all of hell after you? That is exactly how he was describing it.
A few times. Psalm
91:3. And I love this one. Psalms 91 is a great one to memorize for your own protection. But Psalm 91, verse 3. "For he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence." Who's the snare of the fowler? The enemy. He's the fowler. It's the snare. It's his snare. God will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Proverbs 6:2 says, "You are snared with the words of your lips, and you are caught by the speech of your mouth." How you speak and what you say can also be a snare to you.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it's really important we be careful what we speak. Proverbs says so many times that your mouth is actually one of your greatest snares. Mm-hmm. You speak and it can become a trap to you. And you can get trapped into the words that you say.
Oh, yeah.
That also includes curses, where you curse yourself and you say things against yourself. I'm so old. You begin to speak those kind of things out, and what happens is you're cursing yourself. And you actually create your own trap with your own words. So some things are directly the devil, and other things are just us not knowing what we're doing. Okay? We can actually lay our own snare. Do you guys know that? You can actually lay your own trap. So don't be your own enemy. That's kind of a bad thing to do.